Our hypercar field is side by side as they climb the long rise up from Chunchal to the start finish. We are getting ready for the start of the 6 Hours of São Paulo here in Brazil. LMGT3 looks well placed as well. We should be good to go green. Lights are out, we go green, and it is Will Stevens who takes the lead. The number 5 of Julian Andlauer, the Porsche under pressure around the outside. Earl Bamber trying to go through down into turn 2, but the road comes in favour of Andlauer in the red and white Porsche. Behind the white nose of the Peugeot of Loic Duval, right with them. There's a little gap back there to the number 20 BMW. Duval weaving furiously to try and build some heat in the Peugeot's front tyres, but it is Will Stevens that leads from Julian Andlauer and Earl Bamber. Loic Duval is right there, little gap back to the BMW, and behind the number 20 BMW of René Rast is Mikkel Jensen in the second, and the Peugeot's a challenge for the lead. The Porsche with great move up the inside, and it is Julian Andlauer who jumps Will Stevens as they get to that double right-hander at the top of the hill, turn 6 and 7. And the change for the Peugeot as well. Loic Duval has, Mikkel Jensen rather, has gone by René Rast. And it does look like Will Stevens has not got heat in the front because he's under pressure from the second of the Hurst-Team Jota caddies of Earl Bamber. Busy opening lap here, but Julian Andlauer got the jump. And is that he's just done better job, Darren, at heating the tyres?
Certainly looked like the car got turned on a lot quicker. At the back end of Hypercar, Alpine made a great, both Alpine have made a good start. They've made a few places. 007's dropped back a little bit, back down to 17th, and the Ferraris have dropped a few places as well.
Bamber around the outside for second place, but he doesn't get it. Will Stevens still hanging on to second in the first of the 2 gold cars. Right behind them in team formation, Loic Duval and Mikkel Jensen, the white and green of the Peugeots. But Julian Andlauer checking out. Graham looked pretty clean in Hypercar. Was it clean in LMGT3 as well?
It was clean, I think. A couple of questions about the grid hatchings placement, but a new second place car, Darren Leung, in the number 95 McLaren, has powered past both of the Lexus cars. He sits second to Tony McIntosh's Racing Spirit Le Mans Aston Martin.
Well, there he is. There is the Racing Spirit Le Mans Aston with the bright yellow nose. And the first of the McLarens, Darren Leung, just ahead of Petru Umbrarescu with the black highlights and Arnaud Robin with the white highlights on those 2 red Lexuses. Then United Autosport's James Cottingham. Don't forget, this is the race where United's McLarens claimed their first ever podium finish. They were 3rd here a year ago. And behind the car of Cottingham, Proton Competitions, Stefano Gattuso in the Mustang. Now, everybody was expecting the front-engine cars to benefit a little more from the hard tyre because normally they've been quite hard on the medium that we used before. Let's see if that's the case. Out front, Julian Andlauer, 1.2 seconds clear and building that advantage over Will Stevens and Earl Bamber in the Cadillacs. And the Peugeots are right with him, but the BMW's just slipping a little. René Rast and Kevin Magnussen, 6th and 7th, and no progress off the grid for the number 6 Porsche. Penske running out very wide. Is that 51? Yes, it is. And now in trouble, 51 from the Aston Martin behind of Tom Gamble.
Yeah, Toyota's number 7 car ahead of James Collado now, and now James under pressure from Tom Gamble.
Challenge for second place. Umbrarescu goes back past Darren Leung in the McLaren. So Leung in the orange McLaren down to 3rd. Umbrarescu, the red and white Lexus, back up to second place. Looks like they've now got a bit more heat in the tyre.
Also a big battle behind here for 5th place between the 2nd of the McLarens and the 1st of the Mustangs. Stefano Gattuso all over James Cottingham, looking up the inside here of the bright orange to the papaya and black car. Side by side as well between the 31, the Brazilian liveried BMW, picks up a place for the 92 Porsche.
92 Porsche, that turquoise car is the championship leader, and just 2 behind them, the 21 Ferrari, 2nd in the championship. So neither of our front runners, in fact, they're now right behind them, having got by the 46 BMW. So the turquoise and black, that's the championship leader, right behind the 2nd place car in the points.
The other thing to remind viewers here, it is the shortest track on the calendar. That means we're going to be in traffic sooner.
Oh, down the inside comes the 009 Aston Martin on the 36 Alpine of Fred Makovici, and he tucks him up. Good move, Darren. Yeah, good as an Aston Martin test driver to see the Valkyrie drivers really getting their sleeves rolled up here.
009, it's on a charge already. He's made a couple of places, but yeah, super to see that. And super to see the car competitive here. You know, it's in the mix pretty much for the first time, so it's great at this point of the season.
The racing not running, and that's great to see.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, here's how it works. Marco Sorensen on the dirt, on the tarmac, on the gravel, on anywhere he can find a bit of grip. Now, he didn't complete the pass by going 4 wheels off, so that should stick. On board with the Alpine. It is close here, isn't it? You have to take your chances when they offer to you.
Absolutely, at this point of the race as well, because they haven't got to the GT traffic at this point. They've got to make hay while they can, because at some point, fairly soon, they're going to be tripping over the GT cars, and that's just going to change all the dynamics.
There's a couple of dynamics about the Aston as well that don't necessarily help them. They've got a V12 engine, there's a lot of V6s, that's a lot more mass, and they carry more fuel as well. So when the tyre is fresh, that's the time to make your attack. Racing Spirit of Le Mans leading in LMGT3 from a Codis ASP. That's the Lexus behind this Racing Spirit of Le Mans Aston Martin.
And that pair are beginning to gap the group behind. Here comes the 009 for another crack at this. This time it's the Toyota that's the target.
This time it's the Toyota that won last year's race that is the target for the Aston Martin. Toyota locked out the front row last year in the Hyperpole. They only got one car through into Hyperpole this year. And that's some solid defence as well from number 8 car of Brendan Hartley. I don't think he was probably expecting to have to hold off Marco Sorensen early in the race, but he is having to.
Turn 1 looks like Marco's favourite place at the moment, doesn't it? He's definitely sending it down the inside. And that first time when you do that sort of move and you don't know how dirty or where the grip is, it's a big risk. So the fact he wasn't able to lock up or anything like this. But wow,
Proton around the outside and side-by-side contact there with the Alpine. She tries to do that.
Nico Pino in the 99, the white car, round 30, Habsburg in the blue Alpine hanging on. And actually, this is all because Brendan Hartley was desperately slow there in those tight corners and backed up the Aston Martin into the Alpine, into the Porsche.
Valkyrie seems to have really good traction this phase of the race.
James Cottingham, in the orange car. Graham defending hard against the first of the Corvettes, and that is Tom Van Rompuy. In fact, he was attacking, going by Tom Van Rompuy, and right behind is Celia Martin in the pink and white Iron Dames Porsche. Down the inside of her has gone the 61, the black Mercedes of Martin Berry. And this is one of the things, when you get cars that are in a battle, it opens up an opportunity. And again, the second of the Alpines now comes back under 009, so that's Fred Makovici.
Also into this scrap, and it is very much a scrap. Here comes the number 50 Ferrari. This car in the hands of Miguel Molina. It's battling groups here. This is cracking stuff in the early moments of this race.